Diane and Denmark here, rah rah rah, it is Friday morning. I've already seen many of you. I did a morning check-in on Instagram TV this morning, going through our morning routine. We may be on lockdown, but that doesn't mean we have to shut down. Just putting one foot in front of the other, moving forward with our routines. And I'm just walking you through my morning routine every day, because I know we all have to work together on this. We're working together and everything will be all right. Anyway, I've got main things to check in with you today. I'm going to be going through our Easter decorations. Because just because we're on lockdown doesn't mean that we can't put some Easter decorations. So I'm going to go through those. I'm not expecting to find anything to declutter, but hey ho, you never know. And first of all, a check-in for our 40-day declutter. Remember, we're just going for one item. If you can find more than that, that's great, but the next day you need to find another item. But we're not doing that thing of having to find a whole box of things every day, because it's overwhelming, and we've got to make it we've got to be good to ourselves and easy on ourselves and say just one thing. You may find more, but we're just being consistent, like we do with, Flylady cleaning or doing your daily focus. Just by being consistent, by doing a wee bit at a time, everything works. Anyway, I'm telling you what my item for today is. I'm working by Flylady Zone. As you can see, I'm filming down here that the family are working and studying from home right now on lockdown. I'll get this video uploaded as soon as I can, but I leave the Wi-Fi free for them. So that's why my videos might be going out at different times at the moment, and that's how I'm kind of filming in different places. Anyway, I have for today's item, I was going through my coats and my jackets, and this is one, a spring one. I can't wear it yet because it's really cold out. We've had kind of below freezing the last few nights. And yes, it's a nice white jacket, but I'll tell you why I'm not going to keep it. And actually, I didn't wear it last year, and I was thinking, well, it's the right colour, but it's a belted one, and you know me, look at this. I love belted jackets, but I've got a long torso and short legs. So I like a belt that kind of comes a wee bit higher maybe than my natural waist, and it makes me look like I've got long legs. This one, I'm not going to go changing the belt loops on this one. On other like tops, I've moved the belt loops a wee bit higher, just to give me the right shape. But on this one, it's going to be too complicated, plus the sleeves are far too long, and it's also a bit too many kind of military style thing. That's not really me. So this one, and it's clean and whatever, because I haven't worn it. This one is going to go to our next clothes swap party. And as I said, just because we're not holding any clothes swap parties right now, or just because you can't get to the charity shop right now, it doesn't mean that this is going to go on forever. Let's keep on decluttering, and I've got my bag here. If you're going to do some decluttering, make sure that you have. I've got the rubbish bin ready if there's any obvious things to go out for recycling, and I've got some of the things you've already seen me decluttering to do. Seen these over the last few days. So I've got them ready, and I'll just be holding on to them until Corona pandemic has ebbed off a bit and things are getting a bit back to normal. So keep going in there. Anyway, let's have a wee look through the Easter decorations. You saw me out. Oh, and this was another thing. This was, remember, I used up some material that we had to make some cloths for the bread baskets that we've got. The ones that we used to have, I've washed them. I'm going to iron them, and then those are also going. So, one in, one out, the usual thing. I was in the garden shed yesterday, and I've taken out, now these are little things that I made, gosh, years ago. I keep them out in the garden shed. And at Easter, I like to put them on the pots outside and put a few wee decorative eggs in it. So, should I do a Minnie Mouse? so those I'm keeping. And also I had my the Pussy Willow things Because you know, in Denmark, we do this thing where we decorate branches. We have the branches, there we are, and then we hang on little eggs and little homemade decorations. So those I'm keeping. Because you don't need to throw those out after, you know, if you've got somewhere dark and cold to keep them like garden shades, you can keep hold on to those. So those are being kept. A pack of serviettes, and I've made the decision I'm not buying any more kind of serviettes. If I have something like perhaps an old Easter tablecloth, I'm thinking that I might sew on my sewing machine some simple serviettes instead of buying these paper ones, because it's not good for the environment, and I mean, how many do we need? So anyway, but we'll use these ones up first. And next in here I've got yellow candles. In Denmark we love our candles. We don't, somebody asked the other day, we don't really use scented ones a lot. We like the, usually it's only white candles. I like to bring out the yellow ones and put those also in the garden lanterns at this time. So I'll change those over in the garden today. Oh, here we are, talking about the wee eggs. And you probably saw me going through this box last year. And this, let me just open up. These are little decorative eggs that we hang on branches. And in Sweden they hang feathers on their garden trees outside, which is a really nice tradition. Wee eggs. Excellent, boom boom. Oh, and I've also got these, you know, we love our wee birdies. Oh, wee birdies. Right, so those are, I'm going to be keeping those. As I said, I'm not expecting to find anything in here. This is just a decorative one that I actually picked up at a clothes swap, but I quite like the colours. That's quite nice. You may see that beside my kitchen sink on my Instagram posts. If you want to join in with us on Instagram, hashtag Diane in Denmark, and there I post, you know, my outfit of the day, shiny sink at the end of the day. Oh, and here's more eggs. These are more natural coloured ones. There we are. So those I'm keeping. And do you remember this from last year? Look at this wee egg box, and it was filled with chocolate eggs. Here we are. And I've just put some of the fake eggs in there. Isn't that nice? So you'll probably see that beside my shiny sink. So those are being kept. And then I've got a tea towel, and it's from Nice. You know, when I travel, and I try and buy like clutter-free souvenirs. I don't buy like the big sombrero hat and the donkey, if you remember that from... oh, hold on, somebody at the door. Sorry, false alarm. When I travel, I like to buy like a tea towel. Now this is one from Nice, but it's a very obvious kind of Easter egg yellow colour. So you'll also be seeing that. Soon beside my shiny sink. Oh, more candles. 4 candles, 4 candles. The Brits will recognise that joke from the from BBC television. Anyway, now here's my kind of weird item. Do you remember these? I got them at a clothes swap last year. Now, can you see what they are? And I think I called them Peter and Paul. Did I call them that? The bunny rabbits. Anyway, these are, listen. Listen, they look like foil wrapped chocolates, but they're actually ornaments. And yes, they're pretty gruesome, but I just think they're fun. So you'll probably also see those appearing at my shiny sink pictures on Instagram. Right, and what else in here? Well, we've got some of the thing for making kind of Easter basket stuff. Another, hold on, just unroll that. Another kitchen tea towel. And what else have I got in here? I've got some, I won't show you that. It's some, let me just check. Because, you know, I never show my kids or my kids' names and stuff. Here's one. We also have some decorations that the kids made. Now, my daughter is 18 today and my son, he's 20. But these are decorations that they've made at kindergarten and creche and school. And, you know, I like to hang on to a few of these and hang them up. So I'll be hanging these up in the hall. And also, now is the time, if you haven't done it, I mean, you are on lockdown, if you're wanting your kids to be creative and do stuff. I have a video, it's on my recipes and crafts playlist. You saw me over at Vibeka's, and we were showing it a unique Danish tradition, which is secret snowdrop letter. Now, yeah, there is even a wee verse, and I've put it on there, so I'll see if I can link to the direct video there, because this is the time to maybe do a craft like that. But I'm just checking to see if there's nothing else personal in here. Hold on, oh, here's another one. Let me just check who did this one. There we are. Okay, this was from my daughter when she was like about 2 years old, and just putting some glitter on a wee Easter egg. And then there's this one that I think was my son's. Let me just check. Yeah, this is something that my son made. Dook dook, whack whack, or whatever. Right, so I think that, oh, and hold on, I've got a wee bit heavier stuff in the bottom here. I've got my glass eggs. Hold on, let me just take that out. Show you them. Got some glass eggs. I like to put those in a bowl. So I've got quite a few kind of eggs, but I think if you saw last year I decluttered quite a lot. And these are like these stacking babushka dolls. These are silver eggs, and they get smaller and smaller. I normally put those like in the living room or in the hall. And I've got these ones now. These belonged, one of them belonged to my dearly departed Danish father-in-law, and they are pretty kitsch, but I like them. And normally we put some chocolate eggs in there, or some flowers, like you know, the first hyacinths in the garden, or some daffodils, you know, tete-a-tete. Anyway, we had this one, and then look what I found in a charity shop, and yet they are kind of ugly. I know they're kind of ugly, but now we've got the two bunnies, so that's how we, you know, when we're thinking about family. Or just a wee reminder, it's Mothering Sunday in the UK on Sunday, Mother's Day. It's a different day from the rest of the world, you know. Every country has different days for Mother's Day, and in the UK it's on Sunday, just want to remember. And I've got a wee rabbit that was made by my neighbour Jean in Scotland, you know, one of my mum's best friends. So that one's coming out, the wee rabbit. And we have this one, a little china egg. So I'm not seeing anything to declutter. On this one, you always see this one beside my shiny sink. And, oh, and here's the other one. So I've got some nice things. So and also, if you're going to start doing your Easter decorating, you don't have to put everything out today, but just start thinking about it. This is one that my daughter got. I think it was a christening present, or was it our first Easter? And it's Peter Rabbit. There we are. And then you can turn it over. There we are. So we can hold on to that one. Oh, sorry, just had to move my sewing machine out of the way. And this is just a big silver egg that we like to keep chocolate eggs in or stuff like that. Right, I think that is me at the bottom. And in the very bottom here, I've got some Easter stickers. I think those will, we'll hand those on to somebody else. We're not going to be using those. Okay, so anyway, let me just check my list. We are still working on Zone 3 this week. You know, for your cleaning or for your decluttering, and also if you've got a bit extra time, you may want to work on a wee project. I've told you before that things like when I'm in bathroom zone 3, sometimes I improve the grout in the room, or maybe you want to make a new pair of curtains for the bathroom or whatever it is. Just try and use your time wisely at the moment if you've got extra time at home, and it also keeps us off checking the news and the doom and gloom. And just a wee thing here, thanks for all the fantastic comments and all the comments on Instagram. And I try as far as possible to answer thing. I see all the comments that come in, but you'll need to allow me a bit of leeway at the moment. What I'm trying to focus my time on is making a few extra videos just to keep us all going. As I said, I'm doing the little morning check-in on Instagram TV, but you'll need to give me a wee bit of leeway. If you've got any kind of cleaning questions, I'm not here to answer cleaning questions. I can tell you what I'm doing, but maybe you can Google things. Also, I have a policy of I cannot accept any gifts. I've said this before. It's really nice that you think of me and want to send me things, but I have a policy that I cannot accept gifts, and I have a policy of not answering any direct messages. So because I have to set boundaries here, and my whole time would be swallowed up. I'm not a professional YouTuber. I'm just here, I'm a one-man show. I'm trying to do the best that I can and use my time wisely. And people, they comment not on the videos that I'm making now, but the virtual retreat that we did, like, was it 2 years ago, 3 years ago, recipe videos that I've got up, dressing your truth videos that I've gone. So if you can allow me a wee bit of leeway right now, what I'm trying to do is just keep us going together by making some extra videos. But as I said, if you've got any specific questions, maybe you can ask other people in our little community here, or Google it if it's stuff about cleaning or Flylady Zones or whatever it is. But we're all going to make it through. And anyway, I need to get going because it is my daughter's birthday today, and just keep on going on looking for your item to declutter. Maybe get out some of your spring decorations or your Easter decorations, and I think that's it. Yeah, so anyway, I shall definitely see you tomorrow on Instagram TV going through the morning routine, and I think that's it. So anyway, live long and prosper, may the Danish hygge be with you, and I shall see you very soon. Okay, rah, rah, rah.